Nacho! De habla español? Well, this character might. His name is Senor Delicioso, and he prompts a Mexican lager offering from Service Brewing Company as this little service appreciation week on the channel continues for our service men and women, as well as the brewery down in Savannah. But why don't we say we check out just how Senor Delicioso throws down in the ring right after the theme song. Welcome back into the Midland studio as per usual with your host Nutmeg 2 Palmetto. And no gun show today. I'm back in my horseshoe swag to rep my Colts, and it is their salute to service edition from last year. As always, we do want to thank the men and women who served and sacrificed for this country, and appropriately so, all the beers this week are Service Brewing Company down in Savannah. And who is this man on the can, might you say? Well, to tell you the truth, he was the luchador. And what a fine luchador he does. There is kind of this Nacho Libre looking inspired design behind Senor Delicioso. It is a Mexican style lager. Everyone knows who follows my channel. I do love Mexican lagers, or at least have developed a fine love for them. There isn't too much of a story on the can other than the ABV, which is, we'll get into this in a second. Okay, the ABV on the can is listed at 4.6, so remember that. And other than that, I'll just let you admire the can for a minute because there's no more details on that, so we'll get into all that on Untapped. But I'll just let you inspire that luchador character and all this information on the can because Senor Delicioso.
They may have the appearance of riches, but beneath the clothes, we find a man. And beneath the man, we find his nucleus.
And that nucleus is a little different between the can and the Untapped. It is listed as at 4.6 here, but on here, 5.3. So, where that little, maybe this is something that they brew over and over and over again. Although the check-ins are a bit low. But maybe that's something this is just something they do on a consistent basis. So, that's an average or something. The IBUs are listed pretty low at 17. 379 total rankings, 315 unique, 322 of which are ranked, and it's pretty respectable, 3.7, especially for a lager. And as I've said a lot in the past, you tend to notice lagers and pilsners seem to be a little underrepresented in the rankings on Untapped because they're just beer flavored beer and beer colored beer, nothing wacky or outrageous or adventurous or anything like that. But I have come to gain a fine appreciation for this. The pictures look pretty darn clear. Including one that's next to a blue drink, and I can't even fathom a blue drink at service, so I'm curious what that was. Refreshing, light bodied Mexican lager brewed with flaked corn. So that sounds right on point for the style, and I'm excited to see what Senor Delicioso is all about. When I was out in the wilderness, I wrote a song
For Encarnacion. In my mind. When the fantasy has ended and all the children are gone, something good inside me helps me to carry on.
Encarnacion.
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 As Nacho says.
So anyways, let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Sounded more Italian when I said that. Make me think I was back in the Brooklyn Brothers review. Does look nice and clean. Oh, look at that cascade. That is one beautiful upside down snowfall beer for breakfast, fat for snacks. And on top of that, I can even give a good old Richopolis burp the baby. All sorts of shout outs in this video, huh? Alright, the head settled down at a little over 2 fingers. The color of the head is as white as a cloud. Big, fluffy, pillowy white cloud. The color of the beer, super, super clear. You should be able to see my fingers extremely predominantly through that. There is a little bit of a cloudiness to it, but I mean, I can see the computer well through that. So, not so much my microphone, but there's also the light in the way. Let's take a good old whiff. That's the nitty-gritty that Nacho was talking about. Honestly, there's a very grassy note to this. And if you've had services, what's their Pilsner called? Compass Rose? Rally Point's the Pilsner. If you've had that, you know that beer also has a very grassy note to it. But this isn't as strong. That one, Kevin's going to kill me. I'm not particularly a big fan of Rally Point because it's got that overwhelming grassy note. However, this one is not nearly as strong. It's nice and soft. I actually got, not that sniff, but the sniff before, I did get a little hint of a citrusy lime note. Yeah, it's definitely coming down a little bit as it settles down or maybe even warms up. Not that it's warming up much. But I'm excited to take a sip and see how refreshing it is. Let's do just that. Can you see me? Maybe? Okay. Not quite was what I was expecting, but pretty decent. Let's talk about it. So, I will tell you that this is very noticeable as far as being a corn-based lager. The corn flavor is extremely, extremely strong. The grassy, the grassy herbal note in it is very, very low. So this is definitely not, I mean, I'm sure it probably went through a similar process to Rally Point as far as Pilsner Lager, that sort of thing. But it's definitely not that close to Rally Point Pilsner. This is, the grassy note's very low. It has a very noticeable corn-based flavor. I can't really pick up a lime note. No, it really tastes like more of an American domestic. I don't want to say it tastes like Bud Light or anything like that, because it doesn't. But it tastes closer to that than closer to what you stereotype Mexican lager as, with more of a citrusy lime note. It did smell more like that, but the flavor is definitely more just traditional American light lager. The mouthfeel and the body is pretty light. It's I've definitely had clear beer lagers that are like that feel lighter, but this is pretty light. Yeah, it goes down super clean, super crisp, and I'll no problem finishing that. I won't chug it just because I'm not in the mood to chug right at the moment, but I definitely could chug that fairly easily. If you thought I was able to consume fairly easily and you want some more, head to down below. See the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. Hit that and hit the notification bell so you know when my content goes live. And if you're watching on Rumble, smash the follow button. Work my subscriber count up on that platform as well. If you want some more Mexican lager reviews and you're watching on YouTube, head on down to the comments. The first one pinned below has a link to a playlist of the other Mexican lagers that I've reviewed in the past. And until the next time, folks, cheers. And what does Nacho say?
Go away! Read some books!